Join me in the Pledge of Allegiance.
Yes.
I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, on roll call, Mr. Ayr.
Here.
Brown Knight.
Here.
Dr. Lewis.
Here.
Mrs. Rankin.
Here.
All right, I need a motion and a second to excuse both Mr. York and Mr. Bartlett.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Ayr.
I'm thinking about it. Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
I'm glad somebody said it first.
Do we have an aye over there?
Yes, that's aye.
All right, Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
All right.
Has anybody ever said no? I wonder.
I don't know. That's
I can tell you one. I won't, but I could tell you one.
Yeah, she's probably not in this.
all right. Everybody had a chance to review the minutes.
Yes.
Any questions regarding the minutes? That would be, from the September 25th meeting. No? No? All right, a motion and a second to accept.
So moved. Second.
Mr. Ayr?
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
All right, we'll accept those minutes. All right, starting in communications, we have Chief Hines' report. Chief, and I see this, you got a couple of nice thank you letters here to the back. One from Ms. Becca Halad.
One from Margaret.
And Margaret, yes, Margaret Jevick. Do you have anything to add, Chief?
Nothing at this time. Just, our people continue to do good work.
The new officer is working in?
She's working right now, and they're rather busy.
Oh, yeah, I understand, yeah, yeah.
She's
Yes.
working, and, yeah, this is her first week, so we're excited to have her. She's doing a good job.
Hey, Susan, could you close that one directly behind you? Yeah, right, that's good, thank you.
Sorry, thank you. I should have been more thoughtful.
All right, so any other questions regarding Chief Hines' report? No? All right, the Service Department, Mr. Scherpenberg, of course, this being a holiday, I think he decided to take the day off today.
Oh, I talked to him.
Where was he?
He was at home at that point, but I guess he and
He was
Kevin.
in early this morning.
He was in, yeah, with
Okay.
Kevin.
Well, if anybody has any questions regarding the report, of course, you can email or call him. He does have, I see, he does have a spending request in. This is for the temporary, I guess we call them the Minutemen, for raking leaves come this fall.
Yep.
Anybody have any questions regarding that?
Is it within budget?
I believe
Yes.
it is.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, do we have a motion and a second then to pass the spending request?
So moved.
Second. You get it. Give it to me.
Mr. Ayr?
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
All right. All right, Mr. Barlow, any questions regarding the tax administrator's report statement? Looks like we're still running a little ahead on collections? Yes? I mean, relative to this time last year?
Yeah. This is like the first lap last year. Fourth quarter, we hold on
Yeah.
as best we can. I'm hoping it'll be a little bit different this year, but with interest rates up, folks are holding on to their money before they're paying.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll pay the last minute.
So we're looking good and
We're looking good. I
yeah.
think we will be up. I don't know that we'll hold.
All the way through. Yeah.
No. So last year, I can't remember where exactly quarters, but we lost. Everything we were up last year, we lost in the fourth quarter. And ended up being down just a little bit. So
Yeah.
I don't see us losing all of that, though.
Okay. All right.
Hope not.
Well, that's good news. Anybody, any additional questions, Mr. Barlow?
No.
We also have a spending request. This is regarding the heater unit that goes in the fire bay itself. There are 2 heater units down there. They were probably both original to the building. One has gone completely bad, and this is we got, is it MSD? No, that's not, that's not the sewer, that's the plumbing people. They came out, we got a couple of estimates. Really, this is probably the best way to replace it. It hooks back originally to the boiler system. It's a circulating hot water system.
Is the boiler in good shape?
Boiler's in good shape. The boiler was part of MSD's original inspection that we did. Yeah. So we're good in that regard. Motion and a second then to approve the spending request?
So is it in a budget somewhere?
Yes,
The
this is
general fund,
it's going to come out of
the general fund.
the general fund.
Yeah, so, yeah, we look at that before we,
It's
Put
an
in a request.
emergency replacement though, right? So it's not something that we would have planned to
We
spend
would,
that
no,
amount of money.
no, yeah. I mean,
There's money in the budget for it.
yes.
yeah.
So moved.
Second,
Mr. Ayer,
aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight,
Aye.
Dr. Lewis,
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
All right. All right, we are honored tonight to have Mr. Holloway with us to give us an update report on in the building department. Don't be shy.
Are there any questions in the report?
Did anybody look the report over? Any questions?
I tell you, I'm just curious, for all these Miami Run, they have shovels in the ground for all these properties?
Yes, they
Do they really?
do. They actually have built 2 stories of the first unit.
Really?
Yeah, I can send you some photos.
Or we can go take a field trip.
Well, you mean they've started? They haven't-
I haven't finished construction.
Any sold yet?
Stories are framed.
Yeah,
Units being sold yet.
yeah.
Long time coming.
The report that you give us, if there were citations issued, like non-maintenance, would those be on your report? And is it because somebody else is issuing them?
Doing them at this time.
And something that to start issuing?
Yeah, so we've started the rental inspection program a little over a year ago, and we're basically not getting many more new people. So we've gotten about 20, all the village units have been inspected. We mentioned that we'd start doing not voluntary, random inspection exterior. Use that as a basis for some of the owners to fix part. I'm hoping we don't issue citations, because I think citations is a lot of work for Rick and Ed. So we're hoping to get to a point where
That's coming soon?
yeah,
What-
supposed to be done in October. That we do a cross section of some of the people that haven't
Yeah.
done any units. That's correct.
Okay, that sounds great, thanks.
We had anticipated, though, when we instituted this program, that it would be broken into thirds, and by now we would have inspected about a third of the property.
And we're
Now we're sort of curve.
Yep.
New property managers of the
with CMC.
CMC.
So, yeah, Bill Knight, our inspector, will be going with CMC, and they're gonna inspect 75 of, CMC does their own inspections, we're just not calibrated what they actually do.
Uh-huh.
And we said we would go and participate with them, I think it's next week, and go through a certain number of them, and see how calibrated we are, and see if for somehow we can come up with a solution, because if we could get actually double what we've got, it's over a kind of a close to 40% of all the units in the village. So I'll have a report here.
Good work, Mr. Holloway.
Thank you. Any other questions?
Any other?
Ms. Rankin?
Well, why don't you spending, this is to buy, it's required installation on the new doors and some of the windows. And the reason that we're off here a little bit on this amount is that, you know, way back when we were forced to sort of make some type of an estimate as sort of shooting semi in the dark. I mean, it's really going to cost. And now with inflation and supply chain, and, you know, things like that, the cost to sort of has risen. Why we need the extra money for the hard. We have the doors and we have the windows. It's just a question of putting the hardware on them now. And we are, by the way, going to be reusing the exterior door pulls to help maintain, you know, that original look of the building, even though that doesn't save us a lot of money, but
It probably saves us a couple grand, given the cost of all the other hardware.
yeah, given the cost, yeah. You know, on a municipal building or on a public building like this, you know, the hardware that's required, you know, so that, you know, what they call the panic bar or the bar, something like that, so that the
And the
door can be
closers,
open.
they're over $8,000
Yeah,
just
they're
for
very
the hardware
expensive.
for that door. Which I don't think any of us anticipated that. And then there's another cost where actually the door installer doesn't actually install the hardware, you need a locksmith too. So there's another person in the supply chain, so those costs added up.
That is why we're, you know, coming back here now asking for this additional money. I mean, I sort of apologize for this in that, you know, I know I was sort of point on this, but it was almost impossible for me to have a truly accurate estimate back when I was asked to come up with the estimate.
Does the $10,000, does that include the locksmith to install the hardware?
Yeah, we've put an allowance in there for that as well.
Okay.
Any
And then
questions?
budget-wise, if I remember right, what we did was, we had budget that allocated this year for the concourse, and we're kind of shifting that around so that we're still in budget. Is that right?
That is correct.
Yes. I mean, does everybody understand why we're kind of having to do this? We're all good?
I've moved to approve the spending request for the hardware and locksmith.
I'll
Sec-
second.
Second. Mr. Ayer?
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight?
Aye.
And Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
All right. And Rod, I mean, while you're on the topic here, I know I keep bugging you about this, but I mean, for the sake of everyone else here listening, is the installation going to be starting? I mean,
I've reached out. It's a very small group of locksmiths and installers that will work on a door like this. And you know, they're artisans and craftsmen, so they're not very good at responding to email. So I hope that's the case. I sent 2 reminders today, but I don't have a date yet when they're ready.
okay. Just that, you know, I'd be ashamed to have to do this in, you know, the middle of January.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well-
Have you tried calling them?
Yeah.
Okay, because I know that people like that, who are tradesmen like that, so a lot of times they're out in the field and they're not sitting at a desk a lot,
Understand.
looking at emails.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not faulting your effort. I mean, don't misunderstand. I know you've been putting tremendous effort into this. I'm just inquiring that we might anticipate having them installed before the end of the year.
Getting the funding will allow us to get the hardware, because right now we're still 3 to 4 weeks away from
Yeah,
parts.
delivery, okay. All right. All right, thank you for that. All right, permission to address council. Would anyone like to address council? Mr. Sabo?
I'm not here on popular demand, so.
Oh, you're fine.
Oh, thank you.
I want to reaffirm the position of our neighborhood that wants the trolley line park to be preserved as a recreational green space as it is today. I don't feel that Mr. Ayers' criticisms of my previous presentation deserve a response, but I will respond to Mr. Ayers' flippant comment that perhaps I should talk to some people. Just so there will be no question as to the wishes of a good portion of our neighbors, I am submitting the petition circulated in June with 48 signatures wanting to preserve the park, and I have attached that. The comments we received while collecting these signatures can be classed as, yes, I will sign it. 2, I will sign it, but I don't think we'll do any good because I think the decision has already been made to run the road through the park. 3, I won't sign it because I think the decision has already been made. 4, I don't care either way. And 5, I'm in favor of the bike path. So those are the basic responses with it that we got. What continues to bother me is the belief by many that this road is a done deal. As Jennifer, was it Diggenberg, pointed out in the last council meeting, the option to do nothing was never presented at the Kleiningers meetings as an option.
Sid,
let's
not to
clarify.
interrupt, but I do believe she was referring to the Dogwood Park project.
Well, I'm referring to,
Yeah, no, I know, but just for clarification
yeah,
for those who are
agreed.
listening.
Thank you.
I
okay.
mean, go ahead, I'm sorry.
Having spent 55 years as a financial manager and a small business owner, doing nothing has always been an important option that must be considered. You must consider this option. So I ask you, have you already made your decision? If you have, is it because Crown wants this road through the trolley line park and they are ready and willing to pay for it, regardless of the consequences to our neighborhood? What was the hook? It's free? This is the one fact that bothered me from the start. Council may have hired Kleiningers, but council is not paying. The Crown is. To me, this creates a conflict of interest. Who is Kleiningers really working for? Whose best interests are they looking out for? Certainly not the neighborhoods. The meetings sponsored by the village council and led by Kleiningers have set off my internal alarm. When I learned Kleiningers' reports and presentations were free, paid by the Crown, everything became clear to me. Since Kleiningers being paid by the Crown, Kleiningers are presenting only what the Crown wants and has approved. The Crown has no interest in what the residents of Mariemont want. The route variations presented were a smokescreen. The object was always to put the route through along Murray and through the trolley line park. I have spoken against this, against using the trolley line park from the start. I have suggested alternatives that allow the path through our neighborhood without sacrificing the park. It seems that the powers that be are ignoring our message. Our message is simple. We do not want Trolley Line Park destroyed. Thank you. I'm sure there's comments.
Well, Sid, if you thought my comment was flippant, I apologize if it came across that way. My comment was that I would be happy to talk to residents about the project and about the process and about what's being looked at. One of your comments with respect to the funding, we have a grant from the Ohio Department of Natural Resources that covers the majority of the project, and then but as far as the Kleinger study that was done, that was funded 50% by Mariemont private donors. So that wasn't funded by the Crown, although they did contribute. And when the Crown itself is a not-for-profit, and it's a collection of private donors who are interested in alternative transportation and shared use paths around, around the entire region. So, and Chris could elaborate on this, but we have Choice One, a second engineering company, looking at the project, and very specifically, they have your petition, and they also have an objective to work through this and preserve green space to the extent that's practicable. And we're going to have that information soon, and we'll have a public meeting to go over that. So I would just encourage you to stay tuned, and I am very happy to meet with any residents who'd like to talk about the process.
Well, the point is, I have.
No, well,
I have talked to the residents.
okay, well, that's good.
And
I'll be
these are
happy
the
to talk to them as
conclusions
well.
Well,
I plan to do that.
There will be another meeting, I believe, with Choice One.
I assume there would be.
Well, what I'm specifically talking about, though, is talking about the alignment down through there in this preservation, trying to preserve some additional green space. And I believe we've already had one of those meetings, correct?
Not really, no, we have not had a meeting.
Well, you were there. And
Well,
Chris,
it was the
you were
three of
there.
us, yeah.
Right, when we showed the.
Yeah, when we showed-
presented 3 alignments, and with the feedback that we've been given, we're saying, okay, let's take that information and let's take this petition and let's see what we can do and look at alternatives, including going down, every which way.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the
And
feedback I'm
one-
getting is
and one-
right here. It's,
And if you do read the Kleinger's report, which I'm sure you have, the do-nothing alternative is one of the 3 is one of the alternatives
well, it
considered.
wasn't stressed very well. It was shoved to the
But
side.
it's certainly in there.
Yeah.
And that wasn't directed, directed by the Crown, it wasn't directed by Village Council. Chris can attest to that. That was an independent study, and that's what they, and that's the first thing that they looked at, is the do-nothing alternative, for the very reason you stated.
Well, you may be in the know of the particulars, but people out there in the neighborhood don't know the details.
Yeah, that's why I'd love
And
to speak with them.
What they perceived is what I have here, that this is a murky area, and, they really don't have any say in it. That's why they aren't here talking about it. They feel that decision's already been made, we're losing the park.
Well, the decision has not been made, and
Well,
there will be. There
You
will be.
know, I'm telling you,
I understand.
from the people out there that I've talked to,
Right.
they feel they have no input into this
Well,
process.
and no one is losing the park. I mean, that's a statement that's just an exaggeration.
No, it's
We're
not an
We're
exaggeration.
not losing the park.
If you
The
put
park is not going to be gone.
it's gonna be blacktop.
I think it'll be very good to see what Choice One presents, and we'll be able to discuss that openly in public
Well-
meetings and feedback, and I think you might be pleasantly surprised.
I hope the people in the neighborhood are invited to this meeting in a
You
way
bet.
that.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
an open meeting.
It's an open meeting. Of course they'll be
It's an
invited.
open meeting, but,
Well,
when
we'll
they
get
feel
the-
that.
we'll get the word
decision's
out.
already been made.
Now,
Hey,
Well-
hey, Ray,
Why they need to come.
does your petition have addresses, or it has first and last names, right?
What's that?
Your petition has first and last names? Because,
First, last, address, the date they signed it.
okay, because, we can email and we can, put out another push to make sure that everybody knows about that
Yeah.
meeting who was on the petition.
I might add the people on the petition are not all the people that I talked to. I talked to,
Well,
and Marcia Duvall helped me on this, and we talked to more people than what's on that list.
Maybe we could get a copy of that to all council. Please.
yeah, that's a good idea.
it hasn't been decided. There's going to be public meetings. We'll do absolute,
Well, that needs to be conveyed to these people.
Yeah,
out
no,
here in
that's
the
what I was about to
neighborhood.
say.
I mean, strongly conveyed.
yes, get the word out that there is still an opportunity to express an opinion, regarding it.
Because the last couple Kleininger's meetings have only been this road through the park. The do-nothing is never mentioned, and that's the message that's out there.
Yeah. All right.
Well, I thank you for
Yeah.
listening to one guy that invented this.
Well, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, I appreciate you
Yeah,
taking
thanks
the
for coming
time.
in.
Thank you.
All right, any question regarding the bills?
Do we have any more, anyone else want to address?
Oh, I'm
council?
sorry. Yeah,
Thanks, Matt.
anyone else wish to speak? No? You want to get up and tell us something? That's
We just,
No.
sure, yeah. What's going on over there? I'm sorry.
wow.
I'm Mandy Beecroft from the library, the manager at the Mariemont branch. Just some things we have going on in addition to our regular story times and everything. On Saturday, October 14th, the partial eclipse is coming up. And we are going to have the Cincinnati Astronomical Society at the library doing a viewing. They have a special solar
At
lens
our
for our
library?
telescope. Yep, at the Mariemont branch here. Yeah, so we have a special filter that you can put on the telescope to allow you to view the solar eclipse safely. So the Astronomical Society will be coming and doing a presentation and allowing people to actually view that partial solar eclipse.
Do you know what time of day that'll happen?
Yeah, it's going to be from 11:45 to 2:30.
Okay.
Yeah, so the eclipse takes place
Yeah,
throughout
right,
that
sure.
time, with the peak being right around the middle. Yeah, and we have a display up right now from the Mariemont Preservation Foundation that they put up on the history of Mariemont. So that's up in the library right now as well, if anyone wants to check it out. That's about all we've got.
All right. Thanks for the
Wonderful.
update.
Well, that's something I didn't know, so.
Come back with more updates.
Yeah.
Sure, that's really great. And
Yeah,
that's a
thank
really-
you.
That's a unique
Hey, Bill,
opportunity to
thanks
do
for
that.
forcing her to get up and tell us that.
You did very, I'm sorry,
Nothing like-
I was
nothing
moving
like
on, I didn't.
Speaking under duress.
Yeah. Well, I was getting the wave off over there, or somebody. It was like-
Jeez.
Is there anyone else who would like to?
Whether you want to or not.
All right. Apparently not. All right, any questions regarding the bills? Everyone's looked them over, everyone seems to be, find them to be sufficient?
Sufficient.
All right, motion to pay the bills.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Air.
Aye.
Mrs. Brown Knight.
Aye.
Dr. Lewis.
Aye, sorry. Excuse me.
Mrs. Rankin.
Aye.
All right, pay the bills. All right, I think we have one report. And that is from the Finance Subcommittee. You want me to read this?
Go for it, Bill.
All right. The Finance Subcommittee met on Monday, October the 2nd, 2023 at 4 p.m. to discuss applying for the Hamilton County Planning and Development Grant. Present at the meeting were Finance Subcommittee Chair, Mr. Bartlett, Finance Committee Subcommittee members Kelly Rankin and Randy York. The good old mayor was there as well. Part-time administrator Chuck Barlow, village engineer Chris Ertl, and maintenance superintendent John Scherpenberg. Now, and the chief was there as well, too. Mr. York previously met with, and I know I'm going to have trouble here, with April Galelli of Hamilton County Planning and Development about grants that would be available from her organization. After reviewing various options, Ms. Galelli recommended that we apply for the 3 one-year Community Development Block Grant. The grants can be up to $100,000 each year. Ms. Galelli specifically suggested that our best chance of winning the grant would be to focus on the universal access and service to seniors in the park enhancements. After discussing multiple projects, the subcommittee tentatively recommends that the village apply for the Dogwood Park project for 2024, the swimming pool, specifically the baby pool, for 2025, and Dale Park for 2026. The deadline for applying for the grants is November the 28th, 2023. Mr. York is meeting with Ms. Galelli again and we'll check with her to see if these 3 projects are the best to put forward. If council agrees with this recommendation, the village solicitor will draw up the necessary resolution to apply for these grants. Because of the November the 28th application deadline, the Finance Subcommittee is requesting that the resolution be passed on an emergency basis at the second council meeting in October, after Mr. York has met again with Ms. Galelli. Mr. York will lead the effort to put together and submit the grant application. Respectfully submitted, Mr. Bartlett, Brenda York, and Ms. Rankin. All right, you've heard the report. Any discussion? Any questions?
The deadline in November for the application, is that for all 3 one-year community block grants, or is that just for the upcoming first year?
It doesn't specifically say.
I believe it's per year, that you do it per year, or so
Okay,
3.
so for November 28th, we would strictly be talking about applying for a grant for Dogwood Park on
To the best of my
That'd be the
knowledge.
first one,
first one?
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, as I read it, yes.
Kelly, I have a question. Do you know what the match, if there's matching commitments for these, or are these just,
I do not believe there's a match.
okay?
I'll verify, but to the best of my knowledge, there's not a match on these.
Okay, and then the other question is, I'm just curious, since I wasn't at the meeting, why you're recommending that particular order of projects? You know, Dogwood, you know, Pool, Dale,
Well, these are accessibility,
okay,
yeah. So I guess, and I'm going to speak on behalf of Randy, since this
Okay.
is mostly his conversation.
okay,
The impression that I was under is that because Dogwood will start getting worked on, to link the project for accessibility into the same time frame. And then the pool, because we're going to hopefully have that in permanent improvement for 2025, that we can, you know, the accessibility issue with the baby pool, that's a big issue, so we're just trying to link them all in the same time frame.
thank you, that's very helpful.
Any other questions? Any other comments? No? All right, you've heard the report. Do I have a motion and a second to accept the report?
So moved.
Mr. Ayr?
We didn't
Yeah,
get.
I'll second it.
Okay,
Yep.
we had to get our
Did we get it?
second.
Did we get a second?
We did now.
All right, Mr. Ayr?
Aye.
Ms. Brown Knight?
Aye.
Dr. Lewis?
Aye.
Mrs. Rankin?
Aye.
All right, we'll accept that report. All right, and miscellaneous? I always love this. Beggars Night will be Tuesday, October the 31st, 2023. Get those little beggars out there. Leaf season will begin on Monday, October the 23rd, and will end approximately the week of December the 18th. You know, there's always some flexibility in that scheduling there, just a little bit. Well, we need to determine the date of the December, you know, we only have one council meeting in December. We normally have it on the third Monday, is that, if I'm remembering correctly here, the third Monday, which I think would be
The
on
18th.
December the 18th. Does anybody have a scheduling issue? Is that all good?
I mean, that's the date we've thrown out for the last couple of meetings, so.
Yes, yeah. Mhm.
Would you say that date again, I'm sorry?
December the 18th, that'd be the third Monday of December. We all good? Susan? Checking?
I'm putting it on my schedule.
Mr. Hare?
Yep.
You good?
I-
You
Yep.
good? Good? Okay. So we all agree?
Yeah,
Okay.
December 18th it is.
December the 18th it is. All right. Like I said, I think we've done it December the 18th, at least the last two December meetings.
You
that I
went
can
third Monday, yeah.
Yeah, mhm. Okay. All right, determine the date for the permanent improvement meeting.
We normally do that right before that meeting. I mean, that's what we did last.
On December the 18th?
And fortunately, we've tidied that up to be a little more time-efficient meeting than in the past.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we did 5:30? last year,
Is that good?
so let's, if it's okay, say
Okay, so we'll-
5:30,
We'll do 5:30 prior to the
council.
last council meeting on December the 18th.
Yes, please.
Yes, okay. I hope that everyone arrives in the holiday spirit.
I watched the one from last year.
It's not a warning,
And
I'm
you-
just asking.
You should have seen, your desk was wrapped in Christmas wrapping paper.
It was
You
very
were
nice,
wearing
yes.
my old sweater, I was wearing your old sweater.
That was because we'd had the employee lunch.
It was quite a festive meeting.
Is that the meeting when we set out to decide the permanent improvement budget for
2024.
for 2024?
That's correct.
And we're only leaving an hour for that, so is there any time we can spend in advance of that, or how do we do that? That seems like it's a lot of decisions to make in an hour.
It is, it is, and normally it's always best to basically have,
I'll send out any pre-reads.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna expect everybody to come in here and, I mean, there's been a lot of information put together over the next 3 years, but I'll formalize something and send it out to everybody
Yeah.
on the 17th.
At midnight.
It's normally how we've done it in the past. I mean, what monies are from where and available and so on and what,
Right,
you know,
well, it's strictly
projects.
permanent improvement.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
If somebody wants a car.
Sure.
Another car?
Are you ready?
Yeah. All right, moving on. We've got
Three behind.
quite a few resolutions here, guys, to get through.
Spending money on families.
All right, this is the second reading to reappoint Brad Lockhart and Tina Getter as a member of the Architectural Review Board for the calendar years 2024 and 2025.
Okay, that's the second reading. If there's any discussions or comments, this is the time. These are all good nominations.
Okay, this is the first reading to appoint Eileen Beatty as a member of the Architectural Review Board for the calendar year 2024.
Okay, it's the first reading. We'll have the second reading next meeting.
This is the second reading to reappoint Brad Lockhart as a member of the Parks Advisory Board for the calendar year 2024.
Second reading, any comments? No? No? Okay.
Okay, this is the second reading to reappoint Brian Kelly and Tom Gilmore as a member of the Pool Commission for the calendar years 2024 and 2025.
Again, second reading, any comments? My only comment would be is that they both did express the interest in wanting it, correct?
No, they have to do it.
Did we read Tina Getter?
I was thinking
we
the
did.
same.
We did.
I missed
We
it.
did.
I missed it
I
too.
apologize.
She said them at the same time.
Oh,
Wow.
that's what it was. Thank you.
That Joni.
I know, very efficient.
Okay, this is the second reading to confirm the reappointment of Michael Lockhart as swim pool manager for calendar years 2024 and 2025.
All right, second reading, any discussion?
Yeah.
I think we all agree he's doing a fantastic job. He
Absolutely.
did a fantastic job. Very, very lucky to have him.
Absolutely.
All right, third reading will be next meeting.
Okay, this is the second reading to reappoint Andrew Seeger, Steve Spooner, Mark Glassmeyer, John Figgs, John Morgan as a member of the South 80 Trails, Gardens, and Park Advisory Board for the calendar year of 2024.
Well, again, this was the second reading. Any comments on any of this?
No.
Is Glassmeyer on the Parks Advisory Board?
This is the South 80.
No, it's South 80.
South 80. She just did everybody for the South 80. Wait,
It says,
And-
oh, no, okay.
oh, it's all one
No,
thing.
my mistake, yes.
No, I
I'm
see what-
lumping it, I'm sorry, my mistake,
No, I see what you're reading.
yeah, all right. Any questions regarding this? Are we all good? Okay.
All right, this is the second reading to reappoint Barbara Whitaker as a voting member of the Tree Advisory Board for the calendar year 2024.
All right, second reading, any comments?
No,
No? We're all good?
it's a good move.
Okay.
This is the second reading to reappoint Marcy Lewis as a non-voting member of the Tree Advisory Board for the calendar years 2024 and 2025.
Okay. Marcy, you're all good with this, of course? Okay.
Surprise,
My idea.
surprise.
This is the first reading to confirm the reappointment of Chuck Barlow as part-time village administrator for the calendar year 2024.
All right, first reading, we'll have the second reading next council.
Okay, this is the second reading. I'm sorry.
Sorry, go ahead.
This is the second reading to amend Section 51.17 of the Mariemont Code of Ordinances to increase fees collected for garbage and refuse pickup.
Okay, second reading, I think we all know what this is. It has to do with the fee increase.
Right.
All right, we'll have the third reading next council.
Okay.
All right, task list, does anybody have anything they wish to update us on?
I don't, but can I make just a quick update on
Sure.
something in Public Works? The painting fire hydrants, I talked with Brett at Static All Pro this morning, and then I talked to John, we just need to get the scrubber from Amberley, and then rent a Bobcat, and then as soon as the guys can scrub them, he's gonna be right behind painting, hoping it's done by the end of October.
Did the scrubber go back to Amberley? I thought it was down at the
That, my
maintenance facility.
understanding from John is that it
It did?
is in Amberley.
Okay. So this time, when we go to rent the Bobcat, we will fully understand who is paying and what that rate will be, so on and so forth?
You mean going in ahead of time, knowing how much it's going to be? Yes, let's make sure that happens.
All right. Usually it works out.
I don't think we're going the same route.
It
as we
usually
did
works
last
out
year.
better that way.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. All right. Anyone else? Mr. Ayer?
No, on the task list, Joni, on the swim pool, where it says 3-year master plan pool facilities, where it says Mr. York, you can go ahead and, everybody's agreed to change that to me.
Yes. Do we need a motion
To do what?
to move it to Matt from Randy?
Are you,
I don't
Well, I'm gonna move
already did
anyhow, 'cause I
that.
feel
wait a
like
minute,
it.
are you looking in the task list or underneath the committee assignments?
I've already moved it.
Right, you already moved it. I'll just update the task list, that's all.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Okay,
Yeah, on the
Got it.
task list.
okay.
All right. All right. Anything else? I mean, I think we've, the work on the trellis on the concourse is proceeding. I don't know
And
whether-
it looks great.
if anybody's been over there to take a look at it. So it's a little slow, but it's happening.
Hey,
Bill,
good
is
things
your-
take time.
Is your thought to buy the lumber this year still, if we can? And will we need to be doing that soon, or?
I went to Hyde Park Lumber today. I ordered a second series for the next 3 sections.
Oh, I
So
see.
that we can proceed. But at some point, you and I will have to have a discussion as to whether or not we want to order lump sum the rest of it and store it, or what we want to do. But for now, I want to keep the project moving forward. So I'm just sort of doing it in sections.
Has
Yeah, but-
anybody asked I'm just wondering if we get it all at a better price? I would certainly think, that obviously you guys have considered that, but
Yeah.
should we get it all because we're gonna get a significantly better price?
I have the
I don't know where we put it. We
Yeah.
are limited, but if they could hold on to it for us, I don't know, they got a big facility down there.
They are exploring the pricing option now as to
Oh.
whether or not, doing it sort of piecemeal. Yes, we are paying a teeny bit more for it, piecemeal, but it's sort of, we don't have the storage issue and that kind of a problem, because if we did order it all, it would be a lot of wood.
Yeah.
That would have to be
Oh,
kept
yeah,
indoors, dry, and so on and so forth. So I'll have a better answer for that maybe next time. Yeah, okay. Anything else?
It's good,
No? Can it be?
do it.
All right, we're adjourned.
Thank you.